relationships or marriage, since you all have some kind of experience? I can probably start with you.
Oh, well, absolutely nothing. I've been married these past 27 or so years to someone not belonging to my ethnic group, and it's been perfect. So I think there's nothing wrong with it, and the scientists may even tell you that's a better thing if you marry outside your own stock. You rather strengthen the genes.
Yeah.
So far as I'm concerned, really, it's something that should be encouraged. And because our country has diverse ethnic groups, I think intermarriages also help
to build
the society. My junior brother, for example, he's married to a Fanti. I'm married to an Ashanti, and I find that very, very.
But you're still a Muslim. I mean, you still believe in what you believe in, and your wife believes in what she believes in. She's still Christian.
Yes, that's it.
It's easy to say, but that would be difficult depending on where you're coming from, right?
Well, it hasn't been for me. I suppose you handle the societal, the institutional, and then you make the choices as an individual. So you are born a Christian, you are born a Muslim, you are born into some group, ethnic group. But as you grow, as you mature, and hopefully as you open your mind, you allow your mind to grow, you get new sensitivities and new sensibilities, and you rise above the bigotry of all these so-called groups. I belong to this religion, I belong to this tribe, and so on. And then you work with the common denominator of all of us, which is our humanity. Once that takes root in your psyche, everything else doesn't really matter. So you look at people basically on their humanity and what they can achieve from it. So it hasn't been a problem for me. I pray as a Sunni Muslim. My wife is a Methodist. Her church is somewhere in Carnation there, and she goes to church. In fact, she's been unwell for a while now, and the church people come to their house every now and then and do communion for her. And when they come in, I excuse them and they do it. There's really nothing contradictory.
But you're not forced to go to church, for instance, with her?
No, I'm not forced to go to church, but then I go to church when there are funerals of people I know, when there are weddings and I'm invited to church. Indeed, even when there are baptismals and so on and so forth. The issue for me is rising above bigotry and then seeing what really holds us all together. And it's our humanity, nothing else.
Mrs. Retiredu, you are a marriage counselor. I think your own is not, is rather a bit close, Ga Fanti and then Guy Futu, so that's not very far. But is there anything wrong with it?
I really do not think. There are problems sometimes, but there is nothing really wrong with intertribal marriages. For instance, well, there are social interactions like going to school, going to clubs, going to camps that will bring you together with people from other tribes. So right from the day you are born, you will come into contact with different groups of people.
That's right.
And if you have to make, distinctions, this belongs to this belongs there, it's like you are trying to divide people who shouldn't be part of us. There's actually one race, and that is the human race. So basically, we should be thinking about things that will dilute these ethnic sentiments, Even when it has to do with politics, people attach some ethnicity to it, So if we get married to people from other tribes, then there is a tendency to have children belonging to several tribes, and one day, everything will be watered down. So I'm for intertribal marriages because I'm rather a product of one. My mother is Ga, my father is Fanti. Okay? They lived happily for over 40 years, though they belonged to different tribes. So I would want people to marry from other tribes, and it will help the society in the long run.
Somebody might think that, they're discussing it, they're saying it sounds nice. But, when it comes to tradition, we say an individual does not marry. We say it's a whole family.
You marry the whole family.
So that's why I would say it's not an easy decision for an individual to make and say,
that's right.
Okay, I'm an Ewe, I want to marry a Fanti, and that's it. It's difficult, right?
Yes.
One thing I believe that you should do is that you must learn how to draw the line. I'm married to I'm a typical Ko guy, but the line has been drawn for external influences.
How do you draw that line?
You know, you don't allow those external influences from outside, because society has categorized people by their tribes. Like the Ewa is like this, the Hausa man is like this, the Koma is like this. So, but if you allow those things to come into your home, you can't build a home. So you must just draw the line, and both parties in the house must come together and say, hey, I married you, I didn't marry your family. So we can both agree on the same thing and move forward.
Let me ask you this mighty question. If your family objects, and anybody can take this, if there are objections, what can you do as an individual? You want to go ahead and marry this young girl who is not from your tribe. Your parents, particularly your mother, says, hell no.
I believe those people make the best marriages sometimes. Some of the marriages that are challenged in the beginning, you are more cautious because you have had some turbulences in the beginning. And so when you come together and there are storms that come into the marriage, you say, hey, remember where we are coming from, and this guy